Hello, it's Ruby Burrito, and welcome. We are finally in Halloween 2024. Hope you guys are having a good time. We are a little bit into this, however, I do want to still make a video about all the things going on in the festival, all the new things, all the achievements, everything like that. The festival did start on Tuesday, October 15th, and will be going 3 weeks until Tuesday, November 5th. You can always keep track of how many days are left here, but we can dive right into the achievements. So if you go to the achievements section, go to daily, Halloween daily. This is going to be your daily set of achievements. I can have a link for all of the available daily achievements down below. They do change on the day-to-day, but if you go to Halloween Fright, you want to complete 3 of the daily achievements in order to get that one done. So first is going to be Against the King, survive King Thorn's tricks in the Ascent to Madness mission. Craving Quinn, donate enough pieces of candy corn to get Drubert through the day. So that's 50 pieces of candy corn. There's a daily bonus for ringing a bell in the Homestead. That's a new thing. We'll get to that in a little bit. Halloween Costume Brawl. This is winning a costume brawl. Royal Racer. Finish a race or time trial in Mad King's Raceway. Shut and Locked. Complete 5-door events and trick or treat across Tyria. Participate in Mad King Says or defeat any champion enemies across Tyria. Now, let's start at the top. Ascent to Madness. If you want to join Ascent to Madness, there's a door right here. So we are in Lion's Arch. This is the hub of this festival. If you go to the Traders Forum, you will see a bunch of doors. Ascent to Madness is a mini mission where you beat a couple mobs and then you just fight Mad King Thorn. So not a super difficult one. You can always take a look at the festival section here. Look for parties. Squads will have a lot to do with the Labyrinth. Central Tyria will occasionally have some things, like you can see the squads here is also all about the Labyrinth. Occasionally there will be people doing Ascent to Madness. If you want to do it with other people, I would just toss up an LFG. Again, people will be looking to try to get that done. We were also talking about Drubert. So we have Craving Quinn. If you go to Drubert's Ghost here, you can spare some candy corn and give that to Drubert. There's a separate achievement down in the, in the festivals, where if you give Drubert candy, you will, here you go, new afterlife for Quaggan. Donate enough pieces of candy to give Drubert a new start. Every 1,000 pieces of candy corn that you donate, you get 3 trick-or-treat bags. I would not suggest doing this. It's not really worth unless you're doing the dailies and you want to do it for the dailies. I've done it myself just because I didn't have time to do anything else and I wanted to get my daily set done. Going back to the dailies here, we can take a look at the Homestead, actually. That is something that would be the next one. So we'll travel to the Homestead. I did craft one of these. Just wanted to see what it looked like. This is the only new decoration that I have crafted, and it was specifically for this. As you can see, I moved my Haunted Bell because for whatever reason I wasn't able to interact with it where it was, but now I can interact with it. This is your bell. Who besides you could answer it? It turns me into this. Unfortunately, it did not give me the daily bonus reward. I do believe it needs to be somebody else's. However, that is how you interact with the Haunted Bell. So we can leave the home instance, or the Homestead, sorry, and we can take a look at some of the other daily achievements and get those taken care of. If we're looking at the dailies here, you can see the next one is going to be the Costume Brawl Champion. If you get change like you do, like I did actually in that instance, you can fight with other people who are changed. It's best to do this with like a friend or somebody else that's doing it, just so that you can make sure that you know what's going on. Did miss that. But if you jump into the cauldron, you don't have to use any sort of combat tonic or tonics in general in order to do this daily. You can just hop into the cauldron. Can get rid of that there. The next one, if we go back to the dailies, is going to be Royal Racer. Finish a race or time trial in the Mad King's Raceway. So there's 2 different areas for the dailies. So you can see right here that there's only 3 doors, but there's another place you can go to. If you talk to the Lunatic Boatmaster, he can actually take you to the Raceway. And the Raceway is a separate place. So in the Labyrinth, there is a race by itself. But this is the Raceway. There are 3 different races here. There's going to be the Roller Beetle Race. Time trial next to the Roller Beetle Rental. Time trial next to the Springer Rental is the Springer Race. And the time trial next to the Jackal Rental is the Jackal Race. You do not need to be on that that specific mount in order to do it. It is an easy way to do it. So in the background here, I'm going to be doing the Springer race. What you're going to find is very typical for a lot of the races. You're going to have to go through the big blue orbs. It'll tell you what direction with the rotating kind of ring. It'll point you towards the next one. I think the Springer one's the easiest personally. I know the Jackal one. Astrid likes the Jackal one a lot. The biggest thing about the Jackal one is they have exploding pumpkins, and you'll see a couple of them. You can see it on the little mausoleum there. But you have to kind of be aware of those and do your dodge at the right time. Otherwise, you just get dismounted, and it is a little bit of a pain. And since I'm not the greatest at going through them, I prefer to do the Springer one. I've gotten used to it, so for me, this is the easiest one. And so just completing one lap will finish your daily achievement, as you can see here. So we'll go back to the dailies here. Shut and Locked is 5 door events, and Trick or Treat across Tyria is participate in Mad King Says or defeat any champion enemies across Tyria. There is a Mad King Says event that spawns in Lion's Arch. We'll get to that. I'm going to head to the Labyrinth first. The Labyrinth is a great place. For example, I have to do the door events if I'm going to finish my daily, and the door events oftentimes have bosses, and the bosses are great for the other option there that I was talking about. If you take a look, the Trick or Treat, it's champion enemies. So it spawns, there's 5 champions on this map. The purple doors will spawn champions, and the green doors are foe doors, and they will spawn just a bunch of mobs, some vets, but not champions. So you can see here, this is the mount race. This is where the mount race will begin, and you kind of just go something like that. And that's really all you need to do. You just go through it, and that'll be another daily that will be opposite the regular raceway there. So we can head back. You can either talk to the Lunatic Boatmaster, or you can head back to this door, and that will take you back to Lion's Arch. We'll head back to Lion's Arch, and I can at least show you guys where Mad King Says will take place. It's pretty simple. You're using emotes, and when Mad King Thorn says Mad King Says, you use the emote, the proper emote. Otherwise, if Mad King does not say Mad King Says, then, and he will still say do something, you're just supposed to stay kind of silent during that time. So we'll slowly head over. You can see that there's carving pumpkins here. That's going to be an annual and a daily, potential daily. You can see this section here. Don't know off the top of my head that I know exactly what this one's called, but this is where you will see Mad King Says. And I'm guessing that Mad King Says is about to start in 5 minutes, and that's why so many people are sitting here waiting. So every 2 hours, I believe, is when Mad King Says will start. So I'm going to stick around here just to show you guys what Mad King Says looks like. We can take a look at the Halloween rituals here. So this is where you're going to get your annual. The Candy Core chest, these are all new weapons. So for example, the Candy King Warhorn, we will look at just the weapon itself. This one's interesting. You can see that there's a piece of candy corn in there, but if you turn it this way, that effect becomes all but invisible. And then you rotate it this way. It's pretty much 2D in the effect here. So the longbow again will have that huge effect on the outside, but when you rotate it this way, it is 2D. But I don't think that's a huge deal. I do think it looks pretty cool. I don't know that there's very often where I'm looking at a weapon straight up like this. In this one, you can see the candy corn is rotating in there, and you got like a molten candy corn throughout the weapon, which looks pretty cool. And then the final achievement item is going to be the Clawing Shadow Plate chest piece. So there's a little bit of an effect, I would say. I don't know exactly what this effect could be called. It's kind of smoky, kind of almost looks like dust the way that this is dyed. I don't know if the dyes will change it there, but this is going to be the annual achievement item there. So in order to do that, you need to complete 9 of the annual achievements. So the first one is Eat Candy Corn. Kill 100 Palawa Joko's minions. Every time that I do this one, I will say I go to the Crystal Desert. I typically go to southern Elon Riverlands, and I try to do like the Dead House or just kill mobs around here. That's usually the way that I kill my Palawa Joko minions. That's also a daily. Lunatic Racer, complete the race event in Mad King's Labyrinth. I already said that's all. Most of these will also be dailies, but we talked about that one. Defeat all 5 champions. I did talk about those champions. Those are the purple door champions in the the Labyrinth. The Labyrinthine Horror, I believe, is Steve. If you are familiar with Steve, he pops out. It's a skeleton with a big old greatsword that's a chainsaw, and it'll chase everybody around, which is awesome. Ascent to Madness, we talked about this one. Royal Tradition. So this is just do Ascent to Madness once. So you get your daily, and you also get an annual for doing that one. A Royal Tradition, this is around a Mad King Says. You do need to do it 3 times in order to complete that achievement. Pumpkin carving, carve 100 pumpkins. That I kind of showed you guys that. There's also a ton in the Labyrinth, which is why I have so many so far. Mad King's Clock Tower, you need to complete the Clock Tower 3 times. Raceway Regular, this is completing 15 laps at the Mad King's Raceway. So there's the individual time trials, and then there's a race event where you have to do 3 laps of one of the 3 that are there. And then the last one is Courtly Service. Tithe 5 gold commissioning services for the Mad King's Labyrinth. So in that middle section, in the Labyrinth, there is a vendor where you can purchase other vendors, like a bank or a trading post, I believe, and a merchant for everybody that's in the Labyrinth there. So that is going to be everything for the Halloween rituals, the regular ones. There's a bunch of other ones here that are, like, here's Mad King's Herald Intern. This is an infinite version, so you just complete 3, and you can see I've done 75 laps. So a lot of those will just keep going, and you get bonus rewards just for doing everything like that. So I'm not going to go through all of these, because there's a lot of achievements in here. But I will give an example. So this is Ascent to Madness, and it gives you a Tattered Awakened Garment. This is part of a different achievement. You can see if you go back, it's Courtly Duty Gathering Evidence. This will give you additional achievement points and 3 personalized trick-or-treat bags. All of these are contained within the Shadow of the Mad King. There's also the Court Duty Where Lunatics Dare. So there's 5 different achievements in order to complete this one. So I still need to get the Duke's Testimony, which is Mad Maleficence. That is not Mad Maleficence. That's a separate one, sorry. And then Mad Maleficence is definitely a separate achievement. You have to do all of these different things. For example, a treatise on the Veridical. In the Elon Riverlands, I ironically stole this from a monument to Joko's triumphs. So you have to go around a lot of the maps here. This is Alona. Again, this is in the Labyrinth. This one's from the Desolation, so also Alona. So I haven't put a lot of effort in to try and get those done, but we are going to head over, and here is Mad King's Thorn, so we can actually take a look at what Mad King Says sounds like. And I'm going to turn the dialogue on so we can actually hear what Mad King Thorn sounds like.
Are you enjoying yourselves? Your Mad King says. Say yes!
So in this instance, you just type /yes. And if you go to all, you're just going to see all of these people agreeing. You'll see some people that just say yes, and some people will say whatever they want just to kind of interact with Mad King Thorn. So I'm not going to go through the entire thing here, but you can see, again, Mad King Thorn is saying, your Mad King says. So I always will preempt with a / and then it's laugh. So you can hear all the characters laughing. So I'm going to finish this, and I'll show you guys what we get as a reward. All right, so we are finishing up here. You can actually see that we've moved. So after every couple, the Mad King Thorn will move, and you can see that we've got a counter down here. So I've got 12 stacks of Mad King's Favor. And if you read the tooltip, it says complete Mad King Says and earn 1 key fragment of the Mad King's chest key for every 4 stacks of Mad King's Favor. So I don't actually have to keep going because you can only get 3 fragments per day. And I already have 12, which means I have enough. So you only need to get 12. They give you kind of a grace, so I'm at 13 now. So I think it's like 14 or 15 different things that they'll do. And you can see on the right-hand side that there's a timer. You kind of just have to pay attention to where the timer's at and make sure not to miss the commands or things like that. So your Mad King says, cheer. You can see that it'll go down, and then we'll go up to 14. And now we'll just have to wait for this to finish, and we will combine those to open the Mad King's chest. So, as I said, we actually just finished. If we go to the summary, we just finished Courtly Duty, Deference to the King, which finished Court Duty, Gathering Evidence for us. And if you stick around long enough, he will put you into that cauldron, which is a great time on days like today to do a costume brawl if other people are doing it. I don't know that I'm going to stick around for the costume brawl, but you can see everybody is already fighting. This is what a costume brawl will look like. Again, not a great time for me to be taking care of that, but we can take a look at the Mad King chest key fragments in there. You can combine 3 of them to make a Mad King's chest key. Run back over here and open the Mad King's chest. So that's going to be Mad King Says. Again, that happens like, I think it's every 2 hours. You can only get the chest fragments once per day. So you can only get 3 per day. So if you get 2 in one Mad King Says because you were late, you can get 1 more later on in the day. So you can see I got my rewards. That's everything, and I actually should have gotten progress towards my Trick or Treat Across Tyria. Yep. So you have to do 3 of those, and that'll actually have given me progress towards my annual, where is it? A Royal Tradition. So I am also going to show you guys how to do the Clock Tower. They recently added some different things for the Clock Tower. So it used to only be where you have a time trial. There's like this miasma that's going up from the bottom. If you just interact with the Clock Tower, you can see there's a timed activity and an explorable. We're going to do the timed activity, and we're going to try to complete the Clock Tower here quickly. And actually, we got in here perfectly on time. So we're going to try to get this done. We did mess up on the first one because there are some hard jumps. We will see if we can get this done. So this green miasma is what is going to be rising. You can see that it's slowly going up, and you can see the other players are disembodied. In the past, it used to be that you would see the entire player, and that made it very difficult to make these jumps sometimes. And to make it a little bit easier for everybody, they did remove that, and now they're just like these little spirit blobs. So you'll see that some other players will do things slightly different than me, and that's totally fine. There's a bunch of different ways to do this. You don't have to make the exact same jumps. I'm not really doing this based off of a guide or anything like that. I just I watched somebody, there was one part where I got stuck and I kind of figured out the rest by myself. So that's actually the better way. So I messed that jump up getting onto that, getting on the platform. This is what I didn't know to do. So when you get to that, you actually have to jump down, and there's a little chest, and you do get into combat there. And so you have to kind of be careful after you get out of that. But from there, it's relatively straightforward. I have definitely messed up at the end here just because I get real nervous about screwing it up. But that's okay. You'll have to get to here. You can see the green miasma is still rising. And you'll see that's the clock tower right there. And you'll say, well, Ruby Burrito, where do I go from here? Well, you just got to wait for that clock tower to come back around one more time. And then you jump into it. And then here you go. Here is the chest at the top. And if it's a daily, this will finish your daily. And this will be my second for my annual achievement there. So the fast farming website does have a breakdown of what gives you the most gold. So the clock tower is not really the best way to get gold. It is fun. I do like doing it. Ascent to Madness is great, quote unquote, profit per hour. But it only takes a couple minutes. And you can really only do it so much. And I believe there's limits of what you can get. So if we come here, oops, sorry, that's we'll talk to the boat master, and we're actually going to turn that dialogue back down so that other people are not trying to talk over me. So there's a couple other things here. So we went to the raceway. That's the clock tower. You can actually get to the clock tower here. We're going to go to the labyrinth, and I'm just going to kind of, again, show you guys what to do in the labyrinth to make gold. So again, I'm going to reference the fast farming website. There's a bunch of things that you can do in order to boost your gold. I have very little on me right now that'll kind of impact the amount of gold that I can get. But what I would suggest is if you don't have a commander on your map, you can go to LFG and find one. If you have the Griffin, it is the fastest way, I would say, to get around. Of course, if you go the wrong way, like I just did, you will find yourself getting knocked off your mount. Griffins are a great way to do this. Right now, there's only the commander here. Basically, you're going to go to something like this haunted door. And it looks like the commander's waiting for maybe 1 or 2 more people to join before they open this door. But you can see that as part of the door, it spawned a bunch of gargoyles, and you'll do this. I believe the fastest method is without the purple doors. So you'll do all the green doors here. Green door, green door, green door, green door. Typically, what they say for commanding is you'll go, like, for example, if you start here where the race is, you'll come out here, do the doors, come over here, and then you'll come in and do a loop, and then leave, come this way, do a loop, come in and do a loop, and that's how you will kind of run through the labyrinth, because you're going to have a whole bunch of mobs that spawn in the middle here, and they are great for getting additional loot. So if I kill this mummy, for example, I get a porous bone, nothing too crazy, but you'll slowly start to get things like trick-or-treat bags the more mobs you kill. And this is a pretty small group. One of the other like downsides is, for example, I'm doing a fair bit of damage here because there's not a lot of people. You kind of have to be careful when you're doing it. So I got a trick-or-treat bag there, and that's kind of where you're going to start getting the money, is with things like trick-or-treat bags. Now, if you're looking to maximize your gold, I would say do all of the kind of the boosts and everything that you see on the fast farming website. But in my opinion, being I almost said a ritualist, a revenant, and having your sigils, or I can't remember exactly what they're called, on the herald, they constantly pump out boons, and what that does is you get credit for kills of other players. So you pretty much get credit for every single kill in the labyrinth, which is the way to make sure that you get the most gold, because you get the most amount of loot. So you can see that we're running with the commander here. You can see that there's candy corn nodes that you can gather from, and there's carved pumpkins. That's pretty much it for the labyrinth. So I'm actually going to leave, I feel a little bad for leaving the commander because they don't have too many people, but they'll fill up. So we can go to the Lunatic Boatmaster, and we can take a look at the next one, which is Reaper's Rumble. So this one is rather new, and so we are looking to fight the enemy players here, and they have skeletons that they spawned, and those skeletons are going to do extra damage. Obviously, I'm going to die here because there's just multiple players, and what you're trying to do is destroy the other team's mausoleums, and our team had our mausoleums completely killed. So we're going to restart here, and we're going to take a look at what this looks like from the beginning. So our game just started. We have 3 different mausoleums here that we are going to try to defend. So what we need to do is find pumpkins and bring them to our team's mausoleum, and that is how we are going to get skeletons to fight for us. So we need to keep an eye out for pumpkins. We're kind of following a teammate here, which I don't know if that's the best method, but we're going to head out looking for those pumpkins. There, you can see there's a pumpkin right there. And apparently you miss if they are too tall, or I guess too low. But we're going to try to dodge our way out of this. And so you can see there's skeletons coming this way. So that's pretty much the game mode here. We need to grab and take pumpkins to our mausoleums, and you're just hoping to overwhelm the opposing team. So I do believe we just need to... I don't know that I've actually ever done this. So we spawned some skeletons, and the farmer also spawned some skeletons. So we're going to kill their skeletons, and we are going to try to help get this moving. But this is really what this is. I'm not going to make you guys watch a full game, but I am going to finish this game to try to help my teammates out. The last event kind of thing that we're going to look at is Lunatic Inquisition. This one I definitely know more about. The last one, Reaper's Rumble, is something that's newer, and I just haven't spent a whole lot of time playing. So this is Lunatic Inquisition. We are villagers, and there is a ghostly courtier that is opposite us, and they are trying to... Oh. I just basically told the courtier exactly where I was with that. So what I'm trying to do is try not to get caught. There's some pretty sneaky ways. There was a sneaky way to get kind of on top of the walls. I don't know if they ever patched that out. It's been a long time since I've done this specific one as well. But you can see my teammate is dying. So I don't know that I really want to go. Here, take this web. Create a feast. Oh! We would like to not be where we are right now. So I'm gonna grab a torch. You can kind of fight back against the courtiers, I believe. But really, you're just trying not to die. So, the longer you survive, the more points you get. You can see I just got points for surviving. The courtiers will... Did I get transformed? Oh, no. Mad King is telling me to do things, and I can't. I have to do this, or... Okay, so now that we've gone through all of the different events and everything, we can take a look at some of the rewards. We can take a look at the gold per hour, things like that. What I want to start with first is going to be, we have the... actually, I don't have any... Candy corn. There we go. So we have candy corn. This is going to be the material item that you will find throughout the event. The trick-or-treat bags are going to be your kind of chest, your bag, your item that you open. You can sell these on the trading post. Currently, they're going for roughly $382 or $397, depending on if you're doing buy orders or sell orders. You also have large candy bags. These are not tradable. When you open them, you'll see I get a couple crafting materials, got a piece of unidentified gear, bloodstone dust, and trick-or-treat bags. So I typically open these as soon as I get them, clean up my inventory, and I just kind of hold on to my trick-or-treat bags and I decide later if I want to open them or not. The Halloween prize bag is another bag that you can get. This one is 48 silver. So we can take a look at the difference between these. So the Halloween prize bag can give you large candy bag and piece of candy corn, or it has a chance to give you a chained weapon. So for example, we can take a look at the chained hammer here. We'll just do weapon only. You can see you've got some physics on the chain and this little piece of fabric down there. This is the focus. We'll look at the mace. So that's a chained weapon set. So that's why those are 48 silver, is because you have a chance at the chained weapons. If we take a look at the trick-or-treat bags, this is what you are going to look at there. Common, luck, a bunch of Halloween items. You have plastic fangs, chattering skulls, nougat centers. Those can be upgraded. There are multiples here because you can either get them in 6s or in 1s. Those can be upgraded into a gibbering skull, high quality plastic fangs, or a Tyria's best nougat center, and those can be traded for other items with this festival. Uncommon finishers, rotten egg, even higher tier luck, and some tonics. Rare unopened endless bottle of Batwing Brew. Sharpening skull, pumpkin oil, Unce's necklace of the specter. So these things here are what give you a polyluminescent infusion. So you've got teal, green, orange, and black. And then we can take a look. So the Karka helm skin, it's just a Karka on your face. We already talked about these. There are some different recipes here. Essence of luck, even bigger. Recipe for maze balm, jailbroken. So this is a focus. We can do weapon only. It shows just as those. So this is it wielded. It's literally just chains in your hand, which is interesting. Grim Pact. This is another weapon. It is a pistol, I believe. Yeah, a pistol made out of bones. Onus. This is a giant hammer. I like this one quite a bit. We have Vasago. This is going to be an axe. It's got that crazy look right there. Pumpkin Smasher, another hammer. That's a great one. You've got Nest. This, I believe, is a scepter. Yes, scepter. So you've got active spiders running around on there. Nightwing, which is another pistol. We have the Cure, which is a dagger. It's just a giant syringe. I actually don't know that I've seen that one before. That one's pretty crazy. Revenge is just a meat cleaver. We love that one. Soul Conductor. This is a sword? Yeah, sword. The previous one was an axe. And then you have a mini. This is Charles, the Hellfire Skeleton. And then you've got some different crafting materials here, things like that. You've got a mini Devil Dog. You've got mini Zuzu, Cat of Darkness. That's a fan favorite. Old pillowcase. This is what you need to unlock the Tricks and Treats collection. And mini Pumpkin Jack. Those are the rare section. And then super rare, you actually have a chance to get some pretty good stuff in here. You've got the Polysaturating Reverberating Infusion Red, Purple, and Gray. You have the Gift of Spiders, which is used to make Mad King weapons. Same with the Gift of the Moon. Phospholuminescent Infusion, a different infusion. You have the Ember Infusion. You have the Enchanted Music Box, another Gift of Souls, which is for the Mad King weapons there. And Touch of Madness is a torch, which looks pretty cool there. The Royal Flame Weapon Copper allows you to pick Royal Flame weapons. That's going to be a trick or treat. There's a lot of stuff that you can find in there. I am close enough that, if you're wondering why I'm losing health in the background, I am close enough that I am actively participating in Mad King Says. So we're going to go a little bit further away from there. I do believe that's most of what you can get here. I believe I should be able to get a courtly weapon chest. There we go. I skipped over this one. This has some specific weapons. So some of these are older. So the barbed refuge. This this shield has been around for a little while. Luminous Wings. This is a great sword. I like this one quite a bit. You've got Corroding Abyss, an axe. You have the Pale Light's Companions torch. You have the Harvest Grin Staff. I do have that one. I like that one a lot. Nightmare Splitter Axe. There's a lot of axes in this, I'm noticing. Heralded Executioner, Gilded Executioner, and Sanctioned Executioner. Great Sword, Warhorn, and Longbow. And the new ones are the Sanguine Staff. That's just blood. Sanguine Shield. That looks pretty crazy. I like that a lot. And the Sanguine Focus. I don't use focus on a lot of my characters. This kind of is giving me Binding of Ipos vibes. I like that. I like that a lot. So that's going to be, those three Sanguine ones are going to be new. We talked about the new Candy Core weapons. We talked about the Clawing Shadow Plate, which is the chest item for the meta achievement. If we go back to the meta achievement, if we go to festivals, that will be for the annual. And these are the Candy Core weapons here, which I showed you guys earlier on in the video. There's also a bunch of new Homestead recipes. So if you go over to Def Lahar, right next to Sparking Stone, you have the opportunity to get all of these. So there's 5 here, and then you have 9 different volumes of Homestead recipes. I should be able to see. Here we go, handiwork. Now I have quite a few different recipes here that I can create. So for example, there's something like the Mad Moon. You have, where is the Haunted Bell, Haunted Armchair, Haunted Love Seat. They've got a whole bunch of recipes in here. I'll have a link to the page where you can take a look at those. They have new guild hall decorations as well. A lot of the items that you see in the, once again, getting hit by Mad King Says, a lot of the items that you see in the new Homestead decorations are going to be guild hall decorations. Finally, we can take a look at the fast farming website, and I can show you guys kind of what the farming looks like. So I'll have a link to this in the description as well, but I'm just going to put an image up of what they suggest to run, what the profit per hour is, and everything like that. If you want to take a look at that, you should pause it here. I did forget to run through some of the vendors that we have around here, so we're going to start with the Candy Corn Vendor Merchant. We have the Clawing Shadow Greaves box. This, I believe, is previous annual achievements. So you can see I do have this unlocked. I believe that's because they are previous annual achievements there. We can hit... We should probably do this all on the same armor weight. So we've got greaves and gloves, and now we've got shoulders coming in. And if you want to see what that chest piece looks like at the same time, Festivals, Halloween rituals, come into this. Grab the chest piece. This is what this armor set looks like so far. In addition to that, we have the Lunatic Court Cape, the Pumpkin Crown, which I cannot preview here at least, and the Shackles of Madness skin. I do like this one quite a bit. These are pretty small on this character, but on the chart they get pretty big. Witch's Hat, if you didn't catch one already during some of the recent content, and Ghostly Racing Scarf, that's another good one. I should be able to actually go to wardrobe and do Ghostly Racing Scarf here. You can see what it looks like. I'm not sure if I own the Pumpkin Crown. I do not, so I must have missed that one there. And then we have the Plush Zaya, which is an ascended accessory there. Halloween prizes, these are things that are part of crafting, and the Hexed Outfit and the Halloween Pail, which is just a bag. If you want a 20 slot bag, you can get one for 3 candy corn cobs, which is pretty great. Bunch of Halloween minis. I'm not going to go through all of these, but for example, you have the mini Pummel Spider. I like that's a sick looking spider. Mini Fluffy Black Cat, mini Black Labrador, and a mini Haunted Candle if you really want one. Last tab here is going to be the refinement tab. So like I said earlier, you can turn the Chattering Skull into a Gibbering Skull, Nougat Centers into Tyria's best Nougat Centers, and the Plastic Fangs into high quality Plastic Fangs. Again, those are good for crafting and for getting additional items from vendors. So that's going to be this vendor. The weekly currently has several different options, including the Trader's Grim Machine Chest. These look pretty cool. Pretty steampunk here. That's the shield. Here's the hammer. This is the Grim Machine dagger. Do have a couple. I actually have the dagger unlocked. I have the axe unlocked personally, but that's going to be that set. And you got a couple others here that are pretty basic. Transmutation Charge, Gloves of Ectoplasm. You can see again, Gibbering Skull, Tyria's best Nougat Center, Tattered Batwing. This is a crafting material for a scribe. Chest of Legendary Shards, and Tyrian Exchange Voucher. Lunatic Alchemist is somebody that can get you recipes for the Lunatic Templar and Lunatic Acolyte and Lunatic Noble gear. Cooking recipes and Artificer recipes. I can take you guys, now that we've gone through these vendors, to take a look at the Lunatic wardrobe sets. If we head over to the bank, we can take a look at those different armor sets here. If we go to wardrobe storage, we'll look at light, go to Lunatic. So this is the Lunatic Acolyte mask. I have a couple of these already, but we'll go through all of them so that we can see the entire set. And I am going to put the Lunatic Court cape on the back. So this is what the light set is going to look like. We can take a look at the medium. We're going to look at the regular Lunatic Noble's mask, which is not showing much of anything on this character, at least. This is going to be the medium set, cape, and then heavy is going to be... This is the set that I got first. At least most of this set. I like this set a lot. Lunatic Templar. That's a good looking set. Okay, so that's going to be everything there. You can see that there's a Halloween vendor over here. Quickly, I can just show you guys which one this is. This is going to be a Black Lion Weapon Specialist Merchant. And you can get the Chirotophobia Greatsword skin. These are still for Black Lion claim tickets. But this is a really cool greatsword skin. You got this cool effect of the bats flying behind you. Arachne Longbow skin, which is very much spider themed. Dead Stop Shield skin. Bloody Prince Staff skin. Silly Scimitar skin. It's flopping all around. And the Bloody Prince's toy chest. This unlocks the Bloody Prince toy box collection. This allows you to get a Black Lion claim ticket if, like me, you have 10 scraps. So now actually I can grab one of these, and I might grab the Chirotophobia Greatsword skin myself. So that's going to be that merchant over here. we're going to head back towards Sparking Stone. We already talked about Def Lahar and talked about the Homestead recipes. Sparking Stone is going to sell you those same skins that I was showing in the chest. Again, that would be, if we go to here, that would be the Courtly Weapon chest. These weapons are all available from Sparking Stone, but they are 4 gold and 15 candy corn cobs, so they are pretty pricey. Over here, we've got, again, a Lunatic Alchemist. This is going to be the same content that you saw over there. Candy Corn Vendor, same content. And Candy Corn Vendor Weekly, same content. So, the last one over here is going to be the Lunatic Weaponsmith Markham, the Haunted Weaponsmith. So, once you unlock, you can see you must unlock the corresponding haunted weapon from the Eve of the Mad King achievement. So, when you're doing your dailies, clearly I have not been doing enough of my dailies during Halloween, but when you do your dailies, and we already talked about this again, Eve of the Mad King, one more daily, which now that daily reset is over, I will be able to get my Mad King's gift, and I will be able to get a haunted weapon, and then you can get the demon haunted version. So the demon haunted axe, the demon haunted greatsword, the demon haunted hammer. These are some really cool skins. I like them a lot. If you got some leftover candy corn cobs, that's a great place to go to grab those. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap up the video. This is already going to take quite a bit to go through because, as always, these festivals are amazing and they have so much that we can do and so many things that we can see and get. So let me know your favorite part of Halloween down below. Let me know if I miss anything. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed and you will consider hitting that subscribe button to support the channel. Otherwise, hopefully we'll see you guys in the next one.